Williamson, Inc. serves as Williamson County's Chamber of Commerce and Office of Economic Development. In partnership with the Williamson Herald, WBKM Radio, they brought together Meet the Candidates, an interview series open to all candidates for this office to help inform the community. During these conversations, candidates will share their views, and I may also share some of my own opinions as part of the discussion. Those opinions are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Williamson, Inc., the Williamson Herald, WBKM, or any organizations involved in hosting this series. You can find additional voter resources, including these interviews and written candidate profiles, at williamsonchamber.com/vote. I've got to be honest. I've got to be transparent. I go back with this lady 2 generations, maybe longer than that. Diane Giddens is running for county commission, 2nd district.
Yes, sir.
Where's the 2nd district?
So it is the southeastern part of Williamson County.
That's part of Spring Hill. That's all of Burwood. And it includes your home place around Bethesda.
It does include my home place, but it's not going to get Spring Hill because that's in a different district, and I do believe that Burwood is part of the 9th district. So I kind of stop with Green Valley going south, and then just a tad bit of Henpeck Lane, and then south and east.
Diane Giddens is the Williamson County Mayor's Chief of Staff. What does the Chief of Staff do?
Well, Diane Giddens does whatever it takes to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
The Chief of Staff's role is to mirror the county mayor's stands on different things in the community to represent him when he can't be 4 places at once. So we divide and conquer and just help with day-to-day government.
Let me see if I can name them. Wilburn Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Bob Ring.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, who came after Bob Ring?
The late
Clint Callicott. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Clint Callicott to Rogers Anderson.
Correct.
You got a favorite?
Never.
You have seen Williamson County become what it is. What is that? It's taken so much love. It's taken so much work. It's taken so much patience, underlying patience. We've come a long way. First time I ever laid eyes on Rogers Anderson, he and Charles Sargent were out in Grassland picking up rocks on a baseball field. This was pre-Parks and Recreation. You were there for all of it.
Yes, sir. You asked the question, what is Williamson County? I think we're a victim of our success. I think that you talk about the picking up rocks on the baseball field. That's kind of where I started in public service, and the very old Bethesda School, part of which still remains on the hillside, where I had my campaign kickoff in the old cafeteria. But my family was working on ball fields at Bethesda, picking up rocks. My oldest brother, my other brother Randall, and my dad and mom were instrumental in helping to put on the annual Bethesda Horse Show on the 4th of July. And so that's when I began to see the importance of working hand in hand with folks in the community and giving back, and that hard work pays off in the end. So I think that's part of what has made Williamson County what it is today. A lot of people working hand in hand, elbow to elbow, doing good things for the community without worrying about who gets credit. And that's made us a victim of success, I would say.
When I found out you were retiring, I went to my mentor. Her name is Judy Hayes.
Yes, sir.
And I was telling Judy, I've got a bone to pick with Diane Giddens. She can't retire. This county, I think the expression was, go to hell in a handbasket. And she said, now, Tom, she's not as old as you are. Said, aren't you getting ready to retire? And said, she's a grandma now. You don't understand. But you can't turn it loose.
I can't. It's in my blood.
Now, there's big difference.
Very big.
When the county commission meets, there are 3 people on the main podium, one being the county attorney, one being the county commission chairman, and there's Diane Giddens. And you're always, I watch you on TV, you're always whispering in his ear.
Does it do any good?
Yes.
Brian and I have a laugh about that a lot.
But you're going to be, you're going to be hard to beat. Now, you still got to go out there and work for it.
Absolutely.
You still got to knock on doors and say, please. And what do you want to accomplish that you haven't already accomplished?
Well, I don't necessarily look at it as an accomplishment for me, but I would like to see that our county commission and those that they serve continue to enjoy what is taken years to arrive on the scene, which is a wonderful, wonderful county, a beautiful place inside and out to raise a family. And I absolutely understand that. My children went to the same Bethesda elementary school that I went to, the 2 of them, and my husband and I all graduated from Page High School. And so I have experienced growth and seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you got to take the good with the bad. And it's my hope that I can serve as a commissioner who will be the voice of my constituents to continue a future that is something we can all be proud of.
This is something that it's hard to understand. Being a county commissioner is not easy. I wish the County Services Association, or maybe it's the County Commission Association.
There's 2 of those.
I wish they did better jobs in educating people. And county commissioners need to educate themselves. You're not going to have a problem. But from here to May 5th, you've got an election to win. And they're going to throw at you the county debt. It's her fault. She's there for all of it. Well, the county does have somewhere north of $1.2 billion debt.
Yes, sir.
Now you look at what that bought.
Yes, sir.
And that's tickling $100 billion in assets. You can point to it. You can go get it. That's a pretty good deal to me. As somebody who has had to borrow money to get in their own business, that's a pretty good deal to me. Yeah, like any other debt, we need to pay it down. But it's very necessary. But it's too convenient to bring that up in a political atmosphere. What role does character have in being a county commissioner?
Well, I would say that character means respecting others' opinions and being able to reach across the aisle from those that may not agree with you and say we're going to agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we both need to do what's right by our constituents. We need to keep our word, and we need to respect the fact that others are doing that as well.
I've got to ask you this,
Yes,
and
sir.
maybe I have already asked you this. Do you want to be county commission chairman?
Haven't thought about that, Tom. I
No.
think that,
I guess you got to get elected first, haven't you?
yeah, gotta crawl before I can run. But no, sir, I haven't thought about that, and that's certainly a decision of the legislative body.
You've seen them all. You have seen them all. You've seen some pips. You've seen some very good ones. You've seen some people that didn't really need to be a county commissioner. What does it take to make a county commissioner these days, besides character and honesty and all of the stuff that sometimes we take for granted, and maybe we should?
So what it takes is a lot of time and investing in finding the background for the issues that are going to be brought before you. It takes an understanding of why things are being requested. It takes time for folks to sit down at the table and understand that if it requires going in debt, is it a need or is it a want? And are we preserving our AAA bond rating? And are we listening to the folks that deal with that on a daily basis, that stay in touch with the folks at our rating agency and our folks that know how much debt we are paying down each year? But as you mentioned earlier, these assets that we all enjoy are not free.
No.
And it would be great to be able to just write a check for a new middle school. I think I had told someone recently that a new high school costs over $100 million. However, at this past week's budget meeting, I learned that a middle school is over $100 million. So you don't really find that laying around under the rugs in the county administrative complex. So you have to make good investments and wise choices. I don't know that the State Department that pays as you go is showing us a good return on that in business model. So I don't think that debt is always a bad thing, but, and I know that's a soundbite that may be used against me in a court of law, but but I think, again, you have to look at the big picture, that you understand what the money is being invested for.
This lady listens to the hometown radio show weekday mornings. If I make a mistake, and I make them, I get a call before 10 o'clock. I get a call from this lady, and she keeps me honest. Now, I'm just a radio announcer. I bet you do that for county commissioners. I know you do it for the county mayor. And the county mayor has been so successful for two reasons. Number one, he's Rogers Anderson. He's honest. And he's got you.
Well, you're very kind. I think he's good on his own. I like being behind the scenes, and I'm jumping out in front of him at this point.
How big a role? There are things that he has done and that he should get credit for. One in particular, Williamson County was the very first county to put SROs. Rogers Anderson stood up and said, not only should we do this, we're going to do this.
That's correct.
That was leadership.
Absolutely.
Did you play a role in that?
No, sir, I cannot take any credit for that.
Okay.
That was strictly Mayor Anderson and his vision that was the right thing to do, and our kids were worth protecting.
And I'm sure there are other times. Being a leader in county government is not easy. At the same time, you've kind of made it look easy. Because, yes, you've been behind the scenes, but you know where the bodies are buried. I have seen you in your office working before. I have seen department heads come and go. They pay attention to you. Sure, they pay attention to the mayor because he hires and fires. But what you tell them goes. From that standpoint, you are a leader. It's why you're on the board of directors of Leadership Franklin, because you are a leader. From that standpoint, I don't know how good a politician you are. Are you a good politician?
I'm not sure I'm a good politician. I've never been one before.
I guess we're going to find out.
That's right. The proof will be in the pudding. I hope to be a good politician.
You have taken various things from nothing. Example, the Williamson County Fair. I'll never forget the day I came out to see this big hole in the ground. It's now the Ag Expo Park. You were out there on a tractor. Clint Callicott was out there on a road grader, and y'all were down in the bottom of that hole working. You remember that?
Vaguely.
But you did what was necessary. No credit. You just did what was necessary.
Just helping out.
What do you want to accomplish on the county commission and needs to be done pretty soon?
Well, I hope to accomplish a lot of things, but certainly I want to represent the people in my district. I want to be their voice, and I want to follow in the good leaders' footsteps that I have had the pleasure of working with and along the side over the years. I would love to see a good working relationship with our election commission so that we get the word out about how important local elections are and how they affect your day-to-day life. We've got wonderful turnouts for presidential elections, but people need to know and understand that local elections and local politicians matter.
I can't think of anything else to ask you. What are you on the ballot? Are you Diane Pedrick Giddens, or are you just Diane Giddens?
I am Diane Pedrick Giddens.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for having me, Tom.
Thank you. I don't know how many times she has chaired the budget committee. I can pretty well guarantee you it's not as many times as her father, Clyde Lynch, did. But Judy Lynch Herbert has been the county commissioner from the 2nd district. Now, you represented the 3rd for a little while.
Well, they just changed the number on it. It's the same district, but they kind of swapped them around.
But you're currently engaged in a campaign to run for your...
It'll be my 4th term. No, 5th term.
4th or 5th term?
5th term. I've served 16 years, 5th term.
You must be having fun. You must be enjoying this.
Well, I do enjoy it because, you know, I'm old-time Williamson County, and I want us to still hang on to some of the old Williamson County that made this such a special place to live in.
Well, you live in an extra special place called
do.
Flat Creek.
Yes, I do. It's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place. It used to be a country place. Now it's a kind of where the rich folks live.
Well, they're just, few of them starting to head out that way. We're not like Leaper's Fork for sure, but it's a beautiful place, and where I live is really nice, and the people are wonderful. Got a lot of nice neighbors.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. More than once you have chaired the Williamson County Budget Committee.
Yes, I have.
That's a hard job.
It is. You know, it's like I tell people, you got two choices. You either cut taxes or you cut expenses, or raise taxes or cut. There's no easy. Everybody keeps saying all these. Oh, I'll do so and so. Well, you got to get the money from somewhere. What do you want to cut out, or do you want your taxes raised? That's your only two choices.
Paul Weld put it pretty well a few hours ago. You either raise taxes or you borrow the money.
But yeah, you can borrow the money
You
too.
can borrow the money, and we borrowed about 1.2 billion. And that number is thrown out there like that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But that 1.2 billion has given us assets of almost 100 billion. Not a bad investment.
Right. And it seems like a lot, but for what the property values are worth, it's really not. I mean, we're one of the few areas that has a AAA bond rating. And then part of that 1.2 billion is owed by the hospital, and they pay that note.
And now, whatever debt it is, it's always too much.
Right.
And we should be working to reduce it.
Right.
But at the same time, compared to what we get,
Oh, it's unbelievable.
the assets are worth more than $1.2 billion.
Right.
What's your attitude toward debt?
Well, I don't like that, and I wish we could get it down. We just got to be careful. And what's really difficult is like when we were approving the jail and the new juvenile, I mean, it's a tremendous amount. And you're like, oh my gosh. But we had a lot of commissioners. Oh, we can't do that debt. You can't do that debt. And we've argued and fought about it. I was ready just let's move on. What ended up happening, our costs increased so much within that 1 year. It ended up costing us another $12 million by not approving it at the beginning. You got to look. You can't look at just that. You got to look at the big picture and how much it's going to cost you down the road, because it had to be done because the jail's falling apart.
See, that was what Clyde was really good at. That is what you were really good at, the big picture.
Right.
You just created a news story that Triple J project cost us $12 million more than it needed to.
Exactly.
And that sounds like a campaign issue to me.
I'm going to do a comment Paul Webb said that I thought was the best when we were arguing about that. He said, you've got to look at it. Construction costs are going up faster than interest rates. So every time we put it off, it costs us that much more than even if we'd borrowed it at the beginning. So you've got, and that's my one thing. Sometimes people come in and run for office, and all they can say is, I'm not going to raise your property taxes, but I'm going to give you all of these services. And you can't do it. And you've got to look at the big picture. You've got to look down the road. And sometimes you have to borrow money in the long run, it's worked out. And we haven't had any schools built in the last 4 years either, which is a big help.
The growth has, I think the school system says, flattened. And that's not a bad thing.
No, that's not.
If they want to go to Rutherford County, fine. Davidson County, fine. But they're still coming.
That's right.
Schools generally get what they want. They definitely get what they need. There's a difference. What is that difference between wants and needs?
Well, I think this superintendent we've got now is more geared to needs than wants. I mean, I've kind of gotten into it with a previous superintendent, which I liked a lot, but he did a lot of things that really weren't that necessary, that you can do with it. And sometimes I think other elected people need to look at that. Is that really necessary?
And that is why it's set up the way it is. It's why the school board does not have taxing authority, but the county commission does.
Right.
So it's called accountability, and that's a good thing.
The only thing all we can do is give them an amount for the budget, but we can't line item. But we can suggest it.
What else is there to being a county commissioner?
I'm going to tell you what I'm in the middle of right now. I'm on the septic task force. This is something I used to, because I'm in the rural area. A lot of people want to give their kids or grandkids some piece of property, and it took forever to get the septic approved. And it cost so much money, so I've been working on this for quite a few years. So me and another commissioner, Brian Clifford, got together and we did a resolution to basically cut the septic department and redo the regulations. I just left from not long ago from one of the septic meetings, and what's really great about this it's a septic task force. We've got an engineer, soil scientist, a surveyor, and an installer. They're giving their time free. It's not costing the county one thing. And everybody sits down, the mayor's on that and I'm on it, and we all make decisions, which I leave most of them up to them because I'm not an expert. And that's the thing, I'm not an expert. And sometimes commissioners fail to realize they're not experts in all these things. They need to let the people that know. And they sit down and work these out, and we're changing so many regulations that's going to make it cheaper for the residents, going to make it faster, and I'm just so excited about it. I'm the septic queen, I guess.
She is good at two things: raising cowboys.
Yes, I do have two cute cowboys.
And raising tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought us a bribe today of 6 tomatoes. You are the tomato lady. The tomato lady.
I grow the tomatoes hydroponically in a greenhouse, and I usually just have them in the wintertime because you don't compete against homegrown tomatoes, and my best customer are usually farmers because they know a good tomato when they eat one.
Is Flat Creek, where you live, is that in an urban growth boundary?
No.
Okay. Do you want?
No.
If it were to be in a growth boundary, I would presume it'd be Spring Hill.
Probably.
It's pretty far stretch. But recently, whether you live in urban growth boundary or not, your vote counts just as much as somebody from Franklin or Brentwood or Spring Hills does. How do you react when people show up at the county commission wanting to express an opinion about the urban growth boundary of this city, that city? Doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Generally, the county is, let's say, negotiating or will be negotiating with the municipalities again. They did it a couple of years ago, made a deal. But it's gotten to be an issue now. It's gotten to be an issue that the state legislature really didn't want to deal with. So they're going to have to work it out. There's another committee for Judy Lynch Herbert.
Well, I was already on the urban growth boundaries.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
And I have to say, I guess I'm part of the problem because out in my area, you know, we have Bethesda, College Grove, Little Spring Hill, Little Thompson Station. Thompson Station was wanting to come in and take in a lot of Bethesda. I was like, nah, that's not going to work. Not for all my farm people, because I am a farmer. And so we got up a petition, and they wanted out. And Thompson Station was great to work with. They really were. They said, okay, if you don't want to be in it, you don't have to. And Franklin wasn't a problem. And then Spring Hill came in, and they wanted in some property that's in my district in. And the residents didn't want to be in it. And they ended up getting put in it because you're stuck in this situation where if the city takes you to court, who's going to win? And we were afraid we'd end up worse off. But they did take in, and I don't understand, because if you own a farm, they can't put you in the city without your permission. So my whole take on it is, if you don't want to be in the urban growth, why put you in there? Because you're never going to be in the city. Just leave them out. I believe in people's property rights as far as that.
Are you on the hospital board?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you're the first one I think that we've had. Because there are some county commissioners that serve on the hospital board.
Right.
The county owns a hospital, so it's appropriate. You're studying something right now.
Right.
Sale of the hospital. You may know things that the public doesn't know. What's worth more? getting out of debt or having a community hospital?
I think everybody probably has a different view. As I'm aging, I'm going to say a community hospital. And you know, Tom, you lived here a long time like I have. I remember how bad it used to be.
Well, you had to go to Vanderbilt.
You had to go to Nashville. I mean, it was not good at all. We didn't, and now we got such great doctors and nurses that we have such good care. I hate to lose that. And also, you know, it's one of the lowest priced hospitals as far as their services, the cost of anywhere around. So if you might be able to pay some debt, but then you're going to pay more out of your pocket when you go to the hospital. And I'm going to get onto this subject too.
All right. Well,
okay.
We've got about a minute left. Is that right, timekeeper? All right.
There was a resolution that a couple of commissioners did that wanted people that were in the hospital not to be able to vote on the issue of selling it. I was so offended because I've lived here my whole life. I'm 7 generations. I'm always going to do what's best for the county because I'm going to be here to the day I die. My kids are going to be here. And to think that I wouldn't make a good decision just because I'm probably going to make a more informed decision than anybody because I know more, I know the history. And to insinuate I shouldn't be able to vote on that because I'm on the hospital, why would they think that because you're on the hospital board, you would not do what's best for the community and the healthcare needs, whether it's selling or keeping? And so that was the speech I was going to make, but they cut me off before I could do it because they tabled the resolution, but I had to get that in. So now I've done it.
One more question.
Yeah.
I understand you have a teammate in this race. Is that right?
Giddens. You just said what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
That y'all are running as a matched pair. I don't think that's made the news yet.
Well, I don't know if we've actually announced it, but we kind of, you know, she has so much knowledge that it's unbelievable of contacts and things to help. And that's one thing about our district. It's not like the ones, you know, I talked to some of the commissioners in the cities. They don't get phone calls. I get phone calls, emails. I can spend probably at least 10 to 15 hours a week on county commission stuff where other people don't. So ours is a lot more intense than I think that people realize, especially in this district, because we have a lot of rural and a lot of people that's moved in. I've got the best district in the county. You know that, Tom.
I do love Flat Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Go get them.
All righty. I appreciate it, Tom. Thank you.